Ka pae Honey Dread me tereka o ngā waiata kōkiri a ngā mihina nui rewa tika koutou e pikari taringa mai nā ki tēnei tō koutou taonga te reo o tainui. He wai no mātou te whiwhi, no mātou te tino wai mari e te moia kua hono mai tēnei o ngā mārei kura, tēnei o ngā kōkōtangi wai. A ki te kōrero tahi ai kia mātou e pāna ki tēnei kaupapa nui whakahirehira. Ara i puta i nā pōra a kuia ko King Reo Maaori, Lion King i roto i te reo Māori, ana ko tetehi o ngā reo o tēnei o ngā whakāturanga, ko hono mai i tēnei wā, tetehi o ngā tuahine oku, ko e atu ko Ani-Piki Tuari ngā tino mihi kia koe te tuahine, aro ata Māori e kia koe.
Morena, kamutu tēnā koutou katoa e te iwi.
Ka whai, hey sister, ina pōra, i puta te kiriata nei, ka mutu i tai mai te mano tangata ki te mātaki, i pēwhea.
Oh, te ngāns. Kaore pēr he kupu, ne kia whakakōrero i te nui o taku whakahihi, ia tāua o tira ia tātou te iwi Māori. Ne, ngā wahanga katoa o te kiriata i rongo i te hunga mātakitaki e āta, au e ana, e katakata ana, e tangi ana, kāmutu i waimari e hau nā te mea i āhua noho tata hau ki te kahui ariki. Nā reira, i te ata te tiro atu a hau ki te queen, ki te kingi, me te makau ariki ki te tiro atu mena i rata atu ki te toko ruara, ka mutu i te mene raiwa, i te kata raiwa, i tata tangi au, i taku ki te atu i te toko ruara e kata ana, e mene ana, ka mutu i rongo i ngā tamariki, i te ruma, e waiata ana ahakoa, he tuatahitanga te rongo atu i ngā waiata reo Māori nei, te āhua nei i mōhio ngā tamariki, nā te mei mōhio pēr ki te waiata, i mōhio ka pēhea te whakamaori i e rā waiata. Nā reira, te ngāns, he miharo, i whakamiharo ahau ki te minenga i tai atu i nā pō. Ai, nui takitangi.
Ka reo, te tatari ki te haere a tinanana ki te mātakitaki anō hoki mata ko tōku whānau. Me aku tamariki e hikaka ana ki te haere ki te mātaki. He wai poke i te mahi ina pōra o tira i toi ngā rangi whakatāno reira. Ko au me taku moke, ka noho ki te wākanga i tēnei wā, but I'm going to get there. I am going to get there. Now, okay, ka tahuraki ki te reo Pāke, ka marama i te katoa te hunga e whakarongo mai nā. Take us through it. I mean, Lion King, in my opinion, is the best cartoon of all time. I've got a lot of whānau who, the younger generation, who try and call Frozen the best, but we have some big arguments at home on which is the best. But now that it's into Reo Māori, there is no doubt which is the best. Take us through going through the whole voicing process, because I know it takes a long time to get this done.
Yeah, no, it was really, really interesting actually, because so you go into the studio, and because if you're like us two, you know this movie inside out. Yeah. So you know the intonations of all the voices, you know what they should sound like. And so you can't help but want to mimic their voice.
Yes.
But the thing is that, you know, te reo Māori, he rere ke ki te reo Pākehā, ne? So te reo Māori is different than English, especially when you're doing intonations. So, you know, when in te reo Pākehā we say, how are you? You know, we end that intonation in a high. But when we ask that in te reo Māori, kei te pēhea koe, we end that intonation on a low. So it's like the complete opposite in te reo Māori. So not only does the intonation of your character change, but you're also dealing with different dialects, and which was honestly mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Because if you're not from those iwi, you know, you've got that responsibility to whakatina na kia tika, you know, te reo o tēnā iwi o tēnā iwi. Lucky for me, from my character Shenzi, her iwi is Ngāti Kahungunu, and I'm Kahungunu. So if I made a mistake, I'll be forgiven. But no, so you go into studio, and so it's one, you're trying to shed away, not completely, but the character that you know and you've been raised to know. So kia uruwai, so that you can put in, you know, that real Māori take on how we say things, you know, but it's not just the kupu you got to think about, but it's like, you know, how when we talk, sometimes we don't say words, we're just like, ugh, like do those sound effects. So those are the things that we have to implement into it as well. So I spent about, I think just for my character, like, I think I was in studio for 3 days or 2 and a bit days. And the hardest lines for me were like the one-worders.
Right.
Those,
right.
oh, because you.
And how many times you have to do that?
So much. Yeah. So like I had one line and it was like 2 words, whakamutu atu, you know? And that's when Shenzi's like, will you guys knock it off? So you know that she sounds like that, and you're supposed to do that, but with whakamutu atu. So it's like, okay, hello. And I think, honestly, I swear I did that line like probably 100 times, like in various ways, because not only do you have to get the right intention, but then your words have to match the movements of the mouth of your character.
Right.
So you're sitting there like, sometimes got to do the waka like to catch up with the mouths of your character. And it was an experience, I tell you. There were definitely times where I questioned whether I could even speak Te Reo Māori, you know. But yeah, no. So I'm very, very excited about this because I love the whole experience, and I could go on for days about it. But koia pe etahi, that's some of the stuff in studio, and brilliant. We're just lucky we had like Tweety Waititi producing, but also there always. And then Rachel House was zooming in from overseas over in Prague at the same time. And then for every character or every sort of groupings of characters, so we had the Pride Land, or the Lions, ne rata katoa no Tainui, and then you had the Hyenas, Kahungunu, you had Pumbaa and Timon, who were Taitokerau, Zazu was Taranaki, and Rafiki Tuhoi, ne? And so also involved in those studio sessions were the people that translated those you know, those characters, so that they could also follow and give guidance to our to all the cast members around the reo. And to be honest, like having all of that there, so you had the reo covered, you had the acting side covered, you had the storytelling covered. So it was honestly amazing. It's a dream come true.
Absolutely a dream come true. And not only that, you know, normalising Te Reo Māori, putting it on the big screen, but also normalising Te Reo Mita as well. Absolutely fantastic. That was also part of this whole kaupapa, you know, because, you know, all us Māoris in the zoo from all over the motu is being represented on the big stage as well. E hara I te mea ko te tehi reo ngā tahine, engari ko ngā reo a iwi e whakanui e roto I tēnei o ngā whakaatūranga e kore e mutu ngā mihi ki au koutou, ka mutu ngā kai tito, ngā kai Māori o tēnei o ngā kiriata. Absolutely fantastic. And what do you think about this, about normalising Te Reo Māori on the big screen? I mean, is this just one of many that's coming to our screens?
Oh, it has to be one of many. You know, we need more. You know, and so, you know, I give so much credit to Matewa Media, Koko Media, which is Tweety Waititi and Chelsea Winstanley. They are queens, you know, who fought the battle so that we could have Disney. You know, we made history last night in that, and I don't know if I'm actually allowed to say it, but I'm gonna say it anyway, and if I get in trouble, I'm so sorry. But you know, so the Disney, The Lion King, has been translated across 45 languages. Te Reo Māori being the 45th language that The Lion King has been translated into. And the feedback that we got told last night, actually at the premiere, was that Disney thought that our version, Te Reo Māori, was sophisticated and it encaptured, but not only that, it encaptured the very heart of the original Lion King.
Beautiful.
And they could hear, they thought that they heard the differences in the dialects too, and that was just it was outstanding. We are the very first translated version to be so at the end, the closing credits, Elton John's "Can You Feel the Love Tonight?" Well, no one's ever been allowed to replace that. Right. That's had to remain in the credits, except for us. So Stan Walker, he does the closing credits, and it's the first one in all of the Disney history of The Lion King that's been translated into Reo Māori. And Sir Elton John himself agreed to it and was absolutely like, yes, play that version.
Wow.
And it was also the first time that you'll see I know, right? And it's also the first time that you'll see the cast members of the Reo Māori version sitting right next to the original cast in the closing credits. So Whānau, when you watch the movie, don't just watch the movie, sit back and enjoy the closing credits, because we made history last night doing that. Like tātou te iwi Māori. Yeah. I'm so proud to be Māori right now. I'm just like, let's go. So we have to do more. We have to do more. Seeing all the babies last night, and mahana katoa te whare. And ki katoa te whare, all you could hear was Reo Māori, and particularly all the babies. And, we must know that is just what the dream that all of our tupuna fought for. That's what they fought for, so that we can be in a place today where it's normal to see that, and not just nationally, but internationally as well. Oh, sorry, I'm getting a little bit excited.
I love it. I love it. And even right down to the closing credits, and having Stan featured in those credits as well does wonders, not only for Te Reo Māori, but also for our kaiwaiata Māori as well. And then for Stan actually to be front and center of that across the world, because his voice is underrated, I think, here in Aotearoa, and he should be international. And I think America and all the other countries are only starting to kick on to his voice, and not only that, to the voices of all of our kaiwaiata throughout Aotearoa. And we've got some young budding ones like the Hakuda and young Simba as well. I heard them sing on some of the clips that's come online. So, the future is looking really, really bright for te ao Māori me tō tāua reo. Ka mutu, e te tuahine, one of my favorite scenes when it comes to the hyenas is when I think it was, I can't remember who says it, but it goes, Mufasa. And then you shiver.
Yeah.
Can we do that? Yeah. Okay. So what's the line actually? Because I want to make sure that the Māori's correct here. So when I say Mufasa and then you shiver, what's the Māori line that comes after that when you say it again?
I say, ooh, maiano. And then I say, Mufasa.
Mufasa. One of my favorite. I can't wait to watch it. I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait to see it. All right, that's right.
I tell you what, honestly, there were so many moments where the crowd were just cracking up, laughing, and it was a joy to see that. It was a joy to see and experience everyone experiencing the same things we were at that time. So I can't wait for you to see it, Tooting Arms. I really can't wait for you to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. And one thing that's really blown me away as well is because there's a lot of rangatahi out there who haven't actually seen the original, and the first one that they're going to see is the Te Reo Māori version. Hey, how about that? The first introduction to the Lion King, ko King Māori ke te mea ka ki te tuatahi. Ka whai. Alright, e te tuahine, ka pau katoa te wā ki a tāua, engari ka tuku te rākau ki a koe, ina he mihi, he ahara nei, kei a koe te toko i aini.
O tuatahi rā e tika ana kia mihi ki tō tāua kiingi o tira te makau ariki, te kāhui ariki, tēnā koutou o tira te honore nui ki te nohotahi ki a koutou i nā pō, ki te whakanui i tēnei kaupapa nui, whakaharahara, o tira kia koutou katoa e whakarongo mai nā, me te whānau katoa i kawe i tēnei kaupapa o King Reo ona, e kore rawa e mutu ngā mihi, ka mutu ki te āpōpō o tō tātou ao Māori, o tō tātou reo Māori, tēnā mānawatia tō tātou reo penei i a matariki, ne he hua nui o te reo Māori, mā te reo Māori koe e puta ki te ao whānui. Nā reira, e te iwi tēnā koutou katoa, mānawatia te reo Māori, mānawatia a matariki, tēnā koutou.
E te māra i kura nera te mihi atu ki a koe ka taunga tauwhirotanga te wāhinga rau ki runga ki a koe. Ko tata nei ki te tāu i a tāu a tinana nei, no reira mauri ora ki a koe, o tina ki te kāhui, nā koutou tēnei kaupapa i whakarite mai, mo tātou katoa, ngā tino mihi.